Pull up that easy chair and sit right down for the best music in your town.
Here on Way Back with Johnny. Now don't turn that dial. The program's about to begin.
And the star of this week's show, Ms. Joyce Seamone.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Why are you always testing? Will I ever love again? Mirror, mirror, tell me when. Now it's your turn to listen to what I have to say.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, good morning, friends and listeners. Way Back with Johnny. Yes, this here is your old host with the most country western music, Johnny Woodlock. And yes, that was, of course, the legendary song that our next tribute artist of today, Joyce Seamone, recorded back in 1972 and made an overnight success. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this trip down memory lane here on CFRC 1019 FM and also www.oshawarocks.com. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening.
Find someone to live for and love, and then you'll see. Oh, I've got this happy heart inside of me, pain that's making me leave home. LA International Airport, where the big Maplewood is where I long to be. It's the home of my childhood, can't you see?
Good morning, friends and listeners. Way Back with Johnny. Yes, this series, your old host with the most country western music, Johnny Woodlock. And for next hours, I'd like to invite each and every one of my listeners into a very special tribute to none other than Joyce Seamone. Known as the sweetheart of Nova Scotia and also a true trailblazing lady of Canadian country music, I'd like to also remind y'all that we're still coming to you, as we usually do each week, via the Woodlock Ranch and Studios in Cornwall, Ontario. Also being heard over historic CFRC 1019 FM in downtown Kingston, the Limestone City of Canada. Also heard throughout the Greater Toronto Area and worldwide at www.oshawarocks.com, as well as YouTube as well, over Way Back with Johnny on YouTube. Now, with that all mentioned, I'd like to welcome y'all into a very special tribute to Joyce today, and an all-time trailblazing lady of Canadian country music, who was born in Maplewood, Nova Scotia, but is also remembered today as a true trailblazing lady of country music with her 1972 all-time classic, Testing 1, 2, 3. Now, I would like to open up today's program with none other than the first family of the Ottawa Valley, the Family Brown, and their all-time classic called Pioneers. Then we'll follow with another all-time favorite, this time by Joyce Seamone herself, and an all-time favorite called Happy Heart. With that, I would like to say good morning and also welcome into this, the Way Back with Johnny salute to Joyce Seamone, a true trailblazing lady of country music in Canada.
Tommy sang about a traveling man.
Orville's voice brought him command.
Lucille sang of the sun's low.
We'll throw that old strawberry roll.
Well, they rode the rails and they rode the range.
They rode high on the winds of change.
They carved their place and they made their fame.
And the Hall of Honor bears their name.
Pioneers, pioneers, they're the legends
of history.
Trail to a new frontier, and we'll remember the pioneers. Harold and Jack built an industry.
Don's Islanders left a legacy.
Like Papa Joe, some are gone.
But but their tradition still lives on.
So when folks worry about country's roots
And where the new generation's headed to,
I play the singing Rangers song.
You know that one about moving on.
Pioneers, pioneers, they're the legends
of yesteryear.
They blaze the trail to a new frontier, and we'll remember the pioneers, pioneers, they're the legends
Of yesteryear,
they blaze the trail to a new frontier. We'll remember the pioneers, pioneers. They're the legends
of yesteryear.
they blaze the trail to a new frontier, and we'll remember the pioneers. Yes, we'll remember the pioneers.
Here is the pride of Nova Scotia and the star of this week's show, Ms. Joyce Seamone.
Happiness is something that we all need plenty of. It starts from deep inside your heart for you, someone to love. So if you're not as happy as you feel you ought to be, find someone in this world to love and have a happy heart like me. I've got a happy heart, I feel like I could almost fly. I think if someone shot me, that I wouldn't even die. Just find someone to live for and love, and then you'll see why I've got this happy heart inside of me. A smile is so becoming, yet how many times it's true. A person wears a frown 'cause it's a habit to be blue. Sometimes it takes convincing that life can't be all that bad. Just take a look around you and you won't feel quite so sad. I've got a happy heart, I feel like I could almost fly. I think if someone shot me, that I wouldn't even die. Just find someone to live for and love, and then you'll see why I've got this happy heart inside of me. Why I've got this happy heart inside of me.
Well, yes, friends, following those opening songs, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny show here on CFRC and also www.oshawarocks.com. And as we begin this show, I would also like to, as usual, send out some special dedications to my beloved family and friends. First, there'll be a song going out to my dear beloved Mama Dawn. For her today on this Sunday morning, it'll be a classic by a true Hamilton, Ontario native, and that of course is also a Canadian country music pioneer and trailblazer herself, Honey West, and her all-time version of Anne Murray's Snowbird. We'll then follow with a song going out in loving memory of my late soulmate and late partner, Miss Jenny, also forever known as Miss Velma Lapointe, who passed away in 2022. And for Miss Jenny, in memory of her, it'll be Freddie McKenna and a song called I Still Miss Someone. I'll wrap up this set of the opening dedications this morning with a song going out to my dear friend in Verona, Ontario, who we call the Mayor of Verona, Willie Lapointe, and he has been going through some health problems as of late, so we're going to send out a special song to him today by none other than Marg Osborne, who is a true Don Messer Islander and also true trailblazer in country music herself, and an all-time classic called the old family Bible. With that, I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you listening in, and also happy listening here on CFRC 1019 FM, and also www.oshawarocks.com.
Beneath the snowy meadow, cold and clean, the unborn grass lies waiting for its coat to turn to green. The snowbird sings a song he always sings, that speaks to me of flowers that will bloom again in spring. When I was young, my heart was young then too. Anything that it would tell me, that's the thing that I would do. But now I feel such emptiness within, for the thing I want the most in life is a thing that I can't win. So spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. That you'd only break my heart again should I decide to stay. So little snowbird, take me with you when you go to that land of gentle breezes where the peaceful waters flow. So spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. And if I could, you know that I would fly away with you.
At my door the leaves are falling, the cold wild winds will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on a party to look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone. Oh, I'll never get over those blue eyes, I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all her love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we'd begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. Oh, I'll never get over those blue eyes, I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all her love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we'd begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. I still miss someone.
There's a family Bible on the table. Its pages worn and hard to read, but the family Bible on the table will ever be my key to memory. At the end of day, when work was over, and when the evening chores were done, Dad would read to us from the family Bible, and we count our daily blessings one by one. I can see us sitting round the table, and from the family Bible Dad would read. I can hear my mother softly singing, Rock of Ages, cleft for me. This old world of ours is full of trouble. This old world of ours would oh so better be if there were more Bibles on the table and mothers singing Rock of Ages cleft for me. I can see us sitting round the table, and from the family Bible Dad would read. I can hear my mother softly singing, Rock of Ages, cleft for me. Rock of Ages, cleft for me.
I've got fortunes and memories.
This is a voice from the past. This is Bob Gardner, country music historian. I'm happy to be here with Johnny. Keep listening, and you're going to hear stories about country music people that you've never heard before.
I've got fortunes and memories, and they all were bought with tears.
And well, yes, friends, it's once again that time in the program to pay tribute to mighty Ottawa Valley, the valley we call our second home here at the Way Back with Johnny show. And with that mentioned, I'd like to also share that this coming Friday, the 17th of July, marks the 19th anniversary of the sad passing of none other than the Silver Fox of the Ottawa Valley, Ron McMunn. With that mentioned, I would like to pay tribute to Ron right now with a collection of songs dedicated to him and his memory. And I would also like to begin with sending out a song to my dear friends and radio family, Uncle Ray and Aunt Margaret in Eganville, Ontario. For them today will be the Silver Fox himself, Ron McMunn, and a classic called My Old Truck. We'll then follow with another all-time favorite, this time going out to Vic and Linda May Garbett in Arn Pryor, Ontario, and it's going to be the legendary Freddie Dixon off his last album that came out in 2016, and one more country song. Just a reminder that Vic has a wonderful 3-hour tribute to country music every Sunday evening, 7 to 10 over CJHR, Valley Heritage, and we'll wrap up with none other than my dear friend, Tom Wilson of Brockville, Ontario, who's very much a beloved family member, an adopted family member of ours at the Woodlock Ranch. And it's going to be a song that Ron recorded many years ago, but also Tom Wilson did a beautiful live version of called Reserve Me a Table. With that, I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you listening in, and also good day to the Valley listeners. Welcome in, friends.
We're going to bring him on without any further ado. He's a member of the Ottawa Valley Country Music Hall of Fame. Please make welcome the original Silver Fox, Ron McMahon.
Well, my old truck, it ain't much, but it gets me in on time. Twin chrome pipes pouring smoke and a payload on behind. I can't afford a CB, can't stand for nobody, so I gotta ride the back door on your donkey down the highway. The speed limit's changed, there's smokies everywhere. They're riding bikes and cars and they're flying in the air. Electronic radar that catches you both ways. Without that old CB, there ain't no chance today. 'Cause my old truck, it ain't much, but it gets me in on time. Twin chrome pipes pouring smoke and a payload on behind. I can't afford a CB, can't stand for nobody, so I gotta ride the back door on your donkey down the highway. Smoky Bear's a waiting just to catch this old northbound. I lay out in this truck stop and soak another cup and watch for a northbound CB equipped truck. 'Cause my old truck, it ain't much, but it gets me in on time. Twin chrome pipes pouring smoke and a payload on behind. I can't afford a CB, can't stand for nobody, so I gotta ride the back door on your donkey down the highway. I can't afford a CB, can't stand for nobody, so I gotta ride the back door on your donkey down the highway. Well, one of these days we're going to afford one of these new CBs. Get a new set of mud flaps on the back of this old truck. Shine up them chrome pipes. We're going to get all the bugs off the front bumper. And we're gonna run the front door with this old truck. Ryan told you, son, let her go, let it run.
My baby's gone, the one I love. So to this cabaret I come. It seems to ease the night away when I hear that country music play. So play me one more country song before the lights go out and I'm gone. To me, this night won't seem so long. Play me one more country song. Tonight I think I'll take a walk baby steps. I drown in that country music beat. So play me one more country song before the lights go out and I'm gone. To me, this night won't seem so long. Play me one more country song. If you play me one more country song.
Reserve me a table for two for tonight. Turn up the jukebox and turn down the light. Chill me a bottle of our favorite wine. Let me be that old jukebox till I spend my last dime. If she doesn't meet me like she said she would, I'll know it's all over. This time it's for good. I'll look so foolish sitting there all alone. Just me and the bottle while the jukebox plays on. Everybody sing. Reserve me a table for two for tonight. Turn up the jukebox and turn down the light. Chill me a bottle of our favorite wine. And let me play that old jukebox till I spend my last dime. If she doesn't meet me like she said she would, I'll know it's all over. This time it's for good. And I'll look so foolish sitting there all alone. And the bottle while the jukebox plays on. Reserve me a table for two for tonight. Turn up the jukebox and turn down the light. Fill me a bottle of our favorite wine, and let me play that old jukebox till I spend my last dime. reserve me a table for two for tonight.
And it's a great day to be in the Sugar Shack. Have a few drinks while we boil down the sack.
Hello, this is Jamie McMunn from the Ottawa Valley Country Music Hall of Fame. You're listening to my good friend, Johnny Woodlaw, the host with the most, on the way back to pull up that reserved table and enjoy the music. And I'll see you at the Sugar Shack.
If you're looking for me, I don't know when I'll be back, but you'll find me out at the Sugar Shack.
And now, friends, it's once again that time in the program to pay tribute to a very special and very honored guest of ours on the Way Back with Johnny show, as we pay tribute to a true pioneer and legend of Canadian country music this week. We have a very special guest of honor on today's program, which is a beloved and admired guest by many, and also a true friend of mine for many years now. She is remembered for her 1972 hit classic recording of Testing 1, 2, 3, which was written by Jack Hosier and made famous overnight sensation. Please allow me to welcome Miss Joyce Seamone to our program today. In this first part of a three-part interview, following this interview, we will hear an all-time classic from that 1972 number one hit that made her an overnight success throughout Canada, and that, of course, is called Testing 1, 2, 3. So with that, here's my dear friend and a true trailblazer of Canadian country music, Miss Joyce Seamone.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to be talking to you. I know it's been a few years, but it's great to have you back on the air.
Yes, we did this once before at least.
We sure did, yes, a while ago.
Oh, it's time to update.
Exactly, this is it, for sure, Joyce, yes. So born in Maplewood, Nova Scotia, share with us some of your earliest musical memories growing up.
My earliest musical memories are listening to the local radio station, going to church, and listening to all my relatives and neighbors singing in the choir.
Okay, yes. And so was your family musical, or where did it come from, your love for music?
Well, my immediate family didn't play instruments, but my father sang very well. He was in the choir at church. I had aunts and uncles who played music, and so I was always surrounded by music.
Okay, yes. And so where did your inspiration to become a professional come from?
Well, that's a crazy question to answer. It's not a crazy question, but it's a funny one for me to answer.
Yes.
I don't think I had any aspirations of being a professional singer. I just loved to sing, and that was the bottom line.
I say yes, okay. And coming into music during a time when there was few women in country music, what was it like to be part of that?
Well, I must say I admired all the lady singers that was coming out at the same time and even prior to myself. But most of them when I was growing up were mostly American singers.
Yes, of course.
It was only later on that Canada seemed to have female singers that were getting recognized. And it's quite a feat to listen to people that you knew about, and all of a sudden, there they are on the radio. It was absolutely wonderful to hear them.
Okay, yes. And who would you say was your biggest influences? I know, during your era, there was Kitty Wells and Loretta and different ones.
And absolutely, those were my heroes and my influencers. And when I was in my teenage years, I'm going to say, in Halifax, there was several national TV shows, Country Time with Myrna Lory.
Of course, yes.
And so I was familiar with her. And also, at that time, Anne Murray wasn't as big as she became later on, but I used to watch her and I thought, wow, is she ever a great singer? And so I was really taken with Anne singing as well.
Okay, and that would have been through the Sing-Along Jubilee, I'd imagine.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly, and Freddie McKenna and all of them were on it as well, yes.
Speaking of Freddie McKenna, you and probably not many people know this, but I lived in Ontario at the time that Freddie got quite sick.
Okay.
And one of his band members called me and said he was quite ill and asked if I could fill in for the weekend where he had been performing. And if I remember correctly, it was up around Peterborough somewhere.
Okay, yes.
So that's a little known fact.
A little bit of tidbit there, right there. Yes, exactly. Or trivia, exactly.
It's wonderful to think back of those things
and who you worked with and stuff.
Memories.
Exactly, this is true, Joyce, for sure. So you had your debut single, Testing 1, 2, 3. It became an overnight success. Would that be correct in saying that?
I think you're quite correct.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was, I went in the studio and we recorded that song, and all of a sudden the record company starts to send it out to radio stations, and it just got airplay like crazy, and it was my first recording to be sent to radio stations.
What was the original origins of that song, Testing 1, 2, 3?
Well, I was signed with Marathon Records out of Toronto at the time.
Yes.
And one of the people that worked there, he was an artist that drew a lot of the pictures on publicity and things like that.
Okay.
His name was Jack Hosier, and Jack also was a songwriter. So that song came to me through Jack and him working at Marathon and me being an artist on Marathon.
Very nice, yes. And I also understand that it got you gold record success as well.
It did, and I was very young. I was only in my 20s.
Okay.
And not familiar with the music industry as such. And I honestly didn't know the impact of having a gold record and what it all meant, what it stood for, and everything behind it at the time that I got the gold record. So it was quite an achievement, and looking back now, later in the years, I realized how more important it was then and still is.
Especially being a Canadian and a lady at the time, exactly, yes.
Yeah, it was quite the thing.
It sure would be. Now, was it ever a whirlwind for you?
A whirlwind, I guess you could say that.
Yes.
I was working a day job. I was a Royal Bank employee, and I was working in Woodstock, Ontario, when that song came out on the radio. And people used to, it was so big that people found out where I worked. I wasn't even on the road yet playing to support it. I was still a working gal, and they used to bring my LP into the bank, and it was embarrassing. All these people would come in with these LPs for me to sign, and here I was working. And another little tidbit I can remember, on my lunch hour, I was in my car, and the country station at the time in Woodstock had a country show. Well, they were not just country, but they had a country show.
Of course, yes.
1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was in my car, and the DJ came on the air, and he said, we might as well get this song played and get it over with, something to that effect, because he said, I'm just going to be like bombarded with requests for it anyway. And all of a sudden, there was my song. So it was that popular.
Amazing, yes. And what was it like to hear that song for the first time on the radio, if you remember?
Very exciting. Like, I can't believe that was me coming over the radio.
Exactly, I'd imagine, yes, for sure. I
can remember my very first radio interview.
Yes.
Was in Brampton, Ontario, and I sat across from the DJ, and he played my song, and that to me was quite exciting to be interviewed on the radio. At the time, they would played the record. So that's one of my first memories of getting airplay.
And in show business, exactly. Yes. I see.
So later on, then, of course, the song became popular enough that I quit my day job and went on the road with the band to promote the record, and people had been asking to see me, so that's how that all happened.
Okay, yes.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Why are you always testing me? Can't you feel it in your heart? Don't you know there's no need to keep on testing me? I have never ever given you reason to doubt, but dear, by your actions you'll burn my love out. You cry yourself to sleep each night, the Lord knows why you do. You're only hurting someone, and that someone is you. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Why are you always testing me? Can't you feel it in your heart? Don't you know there's no need to keep on testing me? You ask question after question, and it's always the same. Are you seeing someone? Would I know her by name? I can't go on much more like this. The Lord knows that I've tried. I still cannot imagine why you think I would lie. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Why are you always testing me? Can't you feel it in your heart? Don't you know there's no need to keep on testing me? To keep on testing me.
You gotta keep those cards and letters coming in, honey.
Howdy, friends and listeners. This here is your old host with most country western music and bluegrass music, Johnny Woodlock. And I'd like to invite y'all, my listeners, to write yours truly, Johnny Woodlock, as well as Sim Bush and also Little Gunny, here at the Woodlock Ranch and Studios. Have you ever had a thought or a message for us about this program you hear weekly? If so, we would love to hear from you. So write to us at our email address at waybackwoodlock@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to write you back. In the meantime, back to the show, friends, and happy listening.
So keep those cards and letters coming in.
Now, friends, I do hope y'all enjoyed that first part of our visit with Miss Joyce Seamone from her home in Maplewood, Nova Scotia. With that, once again, we are back here on the Way Back with Johnny show. With that also mentioned, it's now time to turn back the golden years to the golden era of Canadian country music as we revisit the vinyl blast from Vinyl Past. But first, we must open the vinyl vault door here this morning. Now the Vinyl Vault door is wide open. Let's turn back the years, some 50 years ago, to 1970s era of Canadian country music and revisit a couple of songs that our dear friend Joyce Seamone brought out many years ago. First one will be the flip side of the 1972 classic titled Testing 1, 2, 3 and is called Napoleon Jones. Then we'll follow with a classic borrowed from Joyce's second release, which was a Christmas album. From that album will be an all-time classic called Dear Santa. With that, I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you listening in, and also welcome in, friends, to the Way Back with Johnny show here on this great channel.
Napoleon Jones is 5'5" and some might call him half-blind, but he's all man, I testify, he's more than he should be. I married him in Moose Jaw, 3 days there I saw no daylight, and the honeymoon ain't over for Napoleon Jones and me. Napoleon Jones drove a truck from Yellowknife to Campsite. When I saw that big old Mac, I thought a giant must hold the reins. When he climbed down, I laughed out loud and thought of Jimmy Dickens, no bigger than a whatnot, driving trucks as big as trains. Well, I felt ashamed because I laughed, and so I bought his limousine, my cafe, and I told him I'll just wait on you myself. He had 3 dozen oysters, that caused flirty conversation, and the girl who did the laughing wasn't laughing when he left. From there on out, Napoleon stopped each time he got to Dawson. Those nights would find his trailer parked in Beaumont on the Jazz. He'd blow those tractor air horns at the cafe, I'd come running. We kept the Gulf Coast jumping, laying down our happy tracks. Napoleon Jones is 5'5" and some might call him half-blind, but he's all man, I testify, he's more than he should be. I married him in Moose Jaw, 3 days there I saw no daylight, and the honeymoon ain't over for Napoleon Jones and me. So now you've heard the courtship of Napoleon Jones and me. Dear old Santa, bring to me something for me to love. A puppy dog, a teddy bear that I can hug and hug. I will be a real good friend if you promise me. When I wake on Christmas morn, happy I will be. With a doggy that will pamper me, a teddy bear that I can squeeze, I will love them, can't you see? Dear old Santa, bring them to me. But just by chance when you arrive, you've something else for me. Leave it, dear old Santa, I'll be happy as can be. So if you leave a puppy dog, I'll love him all my life. I'll take him out to play with me and bring him home at night. And if you leave a teddy bear, I'll love him just the same. So please, dear old Santa, I ask you once again, bring me a doggy that will cuddle to me, a teddy bear that I can squeeze. I will love them, can't you see? Dear old Santa, bring him to me. But just by chance when you arrive, you've something else for me. Leave it, dear old Santa, I'll be happy as can be. Leave it, dear old Santa, I'll be happy as can be.
Well, yes, friends, once again, we have reached the end of the first hour of the Way Back with Johnny show here on this great channel, and as we send us into the second hour of this weekend's program, I would like to once again pay tribute to a collection of sacred gospel songs. First, we'll hear from the classic by legendary queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells, joined with her family, and their all-time classic called Heaven, Heaven. We'll then follow with another classic by the Wagon Master of Country Music, backed by the Blackwood Brothers, and of course that is Porter Wagoner, with his all-time classic called I'm Going That Way. It'll send us into the very top of the second hour here this morning with a lady who is celebrating her 64th birthday coming up this week, none other than Miss Rhonda Vincent, the queen of bluegrass music. And if you don't love your neighbor, you don't love God. With that, I hope to talk to you on the other side of the second hour of this morning's program. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening here on CFRC 1019 FM and also Durham County's www.oshawarocks.com. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening.
H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I want to go up there when life on earth is o'er. H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I'd love to walk along that golden shore. There's a place I've heard a lot about, and in my mind there is no doubt that such a place is waiting up on high. I'd like to go up there someday at the end of life's highway and say hello to friends who've said goodbye. H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I want to go up there when life on earth is o'er. H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I'd love to walk along that golden shore. I hope the Lord will take me in up there where tears and sorrows end, where cares and worry trouble me no more. I hope He'll take my hand and say, my boy, I'm glad you're here to stay. You're welcome in my home forevermore. H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I want to go up there when life on earth is o'er. H-E-A-V-E-N, that spells heaven. I'd love to walk along that golden shore. I'd love to walk along that golden shore.
I've heard of a land of joy and peace and wonderful light and wonderful love. Beautiful place of mansions fair and skies ever bright and skies ever bright. Where all who believe the Savior dear forever shall stay, forever shall stay. And having been saved by grace divine, I'm going that way, I'm going that way.
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 And Jesus the Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him.
I'm clinging to Him.
And never to stray.
And never to stray.
Yes, singing His praises all day long. I'm going that way. The glorious news I'll tell and sing as onward I go, that those who are still astray in sin my Savior may know. I want them to sing His praise above some beautiful day. For glory to Him who died for me, I'm going that way. I'm going that way.
I'm going that way.
I'm going that way.
I'm going that way.
And Jesus the Savior I adore is with me each day.
With me each day.
I'm clinging to Him.
I'm clinging to Him.
And never to stray.
And never to stray.
Yes, singing His praises all day long. I'm going that way.
I'm going that way. I know I shall meet Him at the gate when trials are past, when trials are past. I know I shall meet Him face to face in glory at last. I know I believe that when we meet, well done He will say, well done He will say. For trusting His soul redeeming love, I'm going
Savior I adore is with me each day. I'm clinging to Him, and never to stray. Yes, singing His praises all day long. I'm going that way.
There are many people who will say they're Christians, and they live like Christians on the Sabbath day. But come Monday morning till the coming Sunday, they will fight their neighbor all along the way.
Oh, you don't love God.
If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor
And you
don't love God. In the Holy Bible, in the book of Matthew, read the 18th chapter and the 21st verse. Jesus plainly tells us that we must have mercy. There's a special warning in the 35th verse.
Oh, you don't love God.
If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor
And you
don't love God. There's a God Almighty and you've got to love Him if you want salvation and a home on high. If you say you love Him while you hate your neighbor, then you don't have religion, you just told a lie.
Oh, you don't love God.
If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor
And you
don't love God.
Oh, you don't love God.
If you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if he gets into trouble and you don't try to help him, then you don't love your neighbor
And you
don't love God. Then you don't love your neighbor
And you
don't love God. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, this is Nova Scotia singer Joyce Seamone, singer of Testing 1, 2, 3, and you're listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock here on the way back. Keep it tuned here, friends.
Are you always testing me?
Following those classic gospel favorites, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny show, and we're still coming to you via the Woodlock Ranch and Studios in Cornwall, Ontario, on the shores of St. Lawrence Seaway, where this is recorded weekly. We can also be heard over CFRC 119 FM from the heart of Limestone City of Kingston, Ontario, Canada, as well as our World Wide Web at oshawarocks.com from the Durham County of Ontario, and of course anytime at Way Back with Johnny on YouTube. With that all mentioned, I would like to welcome y'all into the second hour here this morning as we remember the legendary Canadian country gentleman Tommy Hunter, who passed away sadly on July 2nd at the age of 89. With that mentioned, I'd like to remember Tommy in a double feature here this morning of Canada's country gentlemen. First will be his all-time classic called The Man of 87, then we'll follow with Bill Jones' General Store. With that, I would like to dedicate these to our dear late hero Tommy Hunter, but also to all Tommy Hunter's fans out there today. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening here on this great channel.
Grandpa had a piano, and it was built in 1904. Shipped down from Indiana back before the First World War. He'd sit down crack his knuckles, put his glasses on his head. When he'd start to play, the cat would run and hide behind the bed. Well, his right foot stomped the pedal and his left foot stomped the floor. His wrinkled hands would skip the keys that wouldn't play no more. He played Onward Christian Soldiers and the window panes would shake. When the man of 87 played the old 88. The piano sat in the corner on a sagging hardwood floor, and on top was a crystal candy dish and a picture of the Lord. A faded Baptist hymnal took its place above the keys. We'd take turns sitting by him, he'd nod, we'd turn the page. Well, his right foot stomped the pedals and his left foot stomped the floor. His wrinkled hands would skip the keys that wouldn't play no more. He played Onward Christian Soldiers and the window panes would shake. When the man, 87, played the old 88. The old piano's silent now, it don't ring with joy no more. Except sometimes when the cat jumps down when there's someone at the door. Oh, I can see him in my memories with a smile upon his face, sitting at that piano and singing Amazing Grace. Well, his right foot stomped the pedals and his left foot stomped the floor. His wrinkled hands would skip the keys that wouldn't play no more. He played Onward Christian Soldiers and the window panes would shake. When the man of 87 played the old 88. When the man of 87 played the old 88. There's an old wood sign that's just outside of town, and it says, if we ain't got it, you don't need it. This is Bill Jones' General Store. I can hear the creaking of the rusty old screen door, smell the penny candy down at Bill Jones' General Store. The pipe smoke and tobacco, wet boots on the floor, Campbell soup and shotgun shells at Bill Jones' General Store. The cold and snow would blow against the plastic window pane. The old wood stove would kindle and try to dry the rain. Well, I know the times are changing, but it won't be the same. For now the doors are boarded, Bill and Ruth have gone from town. The rooms are cold and empty, and they'll probably tear it down. But old Herky, Wright, and Whitey, they still sit outside the door, just waiting for a quart of beer at Bill Jones' General Store. I can hear the creaking of the rusty old screen door, smell the penny candy down at Bill Jones' General Store. The pipe smoke and tobacco, wet boots on the floor, Campbell soup and shotgun shells at Bill Jones' General Store. Bill Jones' General Store.
And now, friends, following those classics, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny's program. And it's that time in the program once again to welcome our beloved mascot and co-host to our program this morning, none other than Simbush the Wonder Husky. with her collection of favorites by none other than Joyce Seamone, the lady and the sweetheart of Nova Scotia. With that mentioned, Simbush has her collection of favorites that Joyce recorded over the years. First we'll hear an all-time classic called Why Must You Leave Me Alone? Then we'll hear from Joyce's cover of a classic Gordon Lightfoot song called Cotton Jenny. We'll then follow that with LA International Airport, and if there's enough time we will hear an all-time favorite as recorded by Joyce Seamone and her all-time classic called Wash Day Blues. With that I would like to say thank you, Simbush, for your weekly collection of great hits. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening.
The leaves fall to the ground. Our love, it goes round and round. I love you more and more each day. Why do you want to go away? Outside it is oh so cold. Inside the fire's lost its glow. Pretty soon it's coming, yes I know. You're gonna say you have to go, but why must you leave me alone? Oh, why can't you see I need you so? Oh, I know you say you've gotta go, but why must you leave me alone? Well, go and leave me if you must, but your love I cannot trust. I'll just be brave and oh so strong. Our love, I guess, is dead and gone. Someday when you're all alone and thinking about what you have done, just think how I begged you to stay, but no, you had to go away. But why must you leave me alone? Oh, why can't you see I need you so? Oh, I know you say you've gotta go, but why must you leave me alone? But why must you leave me alone? Oh, why can't you see I need you so? Oh, I know you say you've gotta go, but why must you leave me alone? But why must you leave me alone? There's a house on a hill by a worn-down, weathered old mill in the valley below where the river winds. There's no such thing as bad times, and a soft southern flame. Old Cotton Jenny's her name, and she wakes him up when the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round, wheels of love go round. Love go round, love go round. A joyful sound. He ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. When the new day begins, he goes down to the cotton gins, and he makes his time worthwhile to them. Then he climbs back up again, and she waits by the door. Oh, Cotton Jenny, I'm sore, and she rubs his feet while the sun goes down, and the wheels of love go round, wheels of love go round. Love go round, love go round. A joyful sound. He ain't got a penny southern flame. Old Cotton Jenny's her name, and she wakes him up when the sun goes down. And the wheels of love go round, wheels of love go round. Love go round, love go round. A joyful sound. He ain't got a penny for Cotton Jenny to spend, but then the wheels go round. The wheels go round. Love go round. The wheels go round. Love go Standing in that silent hall, waiting for that final call. Says he doesn't love me anymore. With shaking hands I pack a bag, trembling voice I call a cab. Slowly I start walking to the door. The cab arrives, he blows his horn. I stumble out in the early morn, tell him of the place I've gotta go. Cleared 100 signal lights, paid a bet and a traffic fine. Getting through these doors has been so slow. LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. LA International Airport, I won't see him anymore. Stewardess in a mini skirt, a hippie in a leather shirt, started on the way to Naples, Rome. And while I'm wondering where it's at, I see a Paris diplomat. College kids are trying to get back home. Baggage cars go quickly by, I see my case and I start to cry. Stumble to the lounge to be alone. And while I'm trying to get some rest, I bite my lips and try my best to fight the pain that's making me leave home. LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. LA International Airport, I won't see him anymore. With silver wings across the sky, vague trails that wave goodbye to those below who've got to stay at home. I wish that I had flown at night so I could take that champagne flight, rid myself of every tear I own. Soaring high above the heavens in a 747, fighting back the tears that curse my eyes. Captain's voice so loud and clear amplifies into my ear, assuring me I'm flying friendly skies. LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. LA International Airport, I won't see him anymore. LA International Airport, where the big jet engines roar. LA International Airport, I won't see him anymore. Last Saturday night I looked like a princess dressed in calico. And after Monday wash day I looked like a lady hobo, just rubbing and scrubbing and rinsing them out. I gotta hang them out early, I hope the sun comes out. Wash day blues. Now I ain't never been lucky, I ain't never one to cry. I'd like to get a job on TV with some of that soap they advertise, rubbing and scrubbing and rinsing them out. Gotta hang them out early, I hope the sun comes out. Wash day blues, that good looking, good loving no good man of mine could buy me a washing machine. But he spends all his money on payday to make me look like a queen. Rubbing and a scrubbing and a rinsing them out. Gotta hang them out early, I hope the sun comes out. Wash day blues. Boy, I hate to wash and iron worse than anything in the world. If we ever get rich, the first thing I'm gonna do is to get my old man to get me a maid. And then I'll have it made, cause he has really sent me through the ringer. Boy, I hate dirty diapers. I wash so many diapers.
You don't often find an angel walking barefoot across the floor.
Howdy, folks. This is Jerry Palmer, Canadian singer and songwriter from way back. And you're listening to my good old buddy, Johnny Woodlock. And he spins all the best and legendary country tunes. Gives you the best in country music. Thank you, Johnny.
Did I forget to tell her that I'm happy I'm her man?
Well, yes, friends, once again, it's that time in the program following Simbush's top favorites to salute the segment I like to call The Great Canadian Northern Gems by Even Greater Canadian Northern Legends. Here for y'all this morning, I have a collection of great Canadian queens of country music. First of all, it's going to be our true queen of Canadian country music, Miss Carol Baker, and her all-time classic called Wild Mountain Rose. We'll then follow with another dear friend of mine from up Western Ontario, Gloria Downer Pearson, who I recently just reconnected with, and it'll be her all-time classic version of The Hands You're Holding Now. Then we'll wrap up this selection of great Canadian pioneers and icons with a true legend among female singers in Canada, one of the earliest female singers in Canadian country music, Miss Myrna Lory, and her all-time classic called Just Count the Tears I'm Gone. With that, I'd like to say good morning to each and every one of us up home in the greatest country in the world, Canada. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening here on CFRC 1019 FM.
A small country cottage by a blue mountain stream, a home for my mama, my daddy, and me. Far from the city, but close to the Lord, where warm rain and sunshine make the wildflowers grow. A young girl grew older, and dreams filled my nights. A voice deep inside said, there's much more to life. So I left home with high hopes and stars in my eyes. But wild mountain roses don't bloom under bright city lights. Wild mountain roses don't bloom under bright city lights. And New York ain't no place for a girl that mama raised right. The men here want more than my sweet country smile. And wild mountain roses don't bloom under bright city lights. No wild mountain roses don't bloom under bright city lights.
kissed you was the sweetest feeling I have ever known. They say that every dream must have an ending, and you leave the hands you've been holding for so long. But if you don't want me, I won't try to keep you. But there's just the smallest chance you may be wrong. Until you're sure, I hope you'll never let go of the hands that you've been holding for so long. You go out every night and hold someone new, and never does it cross your mind. I know you've been untrue. I should have known so long ago to pick up and move on. And if you don't believe I'm leaving you, just count the tears I'm gone. Just count the tears I'm gone as you sit crying, and look back on all the times I cut you lying. I should have known so long ago to pick up and move on. And if you don't believe I'm leaving you, just count the tears I'm gone. Don't stand there in such amazement. This time it is for real. Your heart just isn't smart enough to know the pain I feel. Don't try to touch me anymore. You couldn't turn me on. And if you don't believe I'm leaving you, just count the tears I'm gone. Just count the tears I'm gone as you sit crying, and remember all the times I caught you lying. No, don't try to touch me anymore. You just couldn't turn me on. And if you don't believe I'm leaving you, just count the tears I'm gone. If you don't believe I'm leaving you, just count the tears I'm gone.
Tempting are the bright lights that draw me out each night.
Hi, folks. I'm Carol Baker. You're listening to the Way Back Country Jamboree with my good friend, Johnny Woodlock. I know you're going to love the show.
10 little fingers reached out to rescue me.
And yes, friends, following those classic queens of Canadian country music, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny show, and it's that time of the program to welcome a very special member of our morning team to our program this morning. And that, of course, is our smallest member of our morning team, none other than Gunny the Dash Hound. As we welcome Little Gunny with her highlighted tribute artist, Miss Joyce Seamone, we have a collection of her favorites this morning of the slower ballad type songs. First of all, we're going to hear an all-time classic called I Better Not See Him Again. We'll then follow with an all-time favorite called Come On In, and we'll wrap up this set with the third and final selection of today's picks by Gunny. And this is off the final album of 1970s original recordings of Joyce's, which dates back to 1975 and is called Storms Never Last. With that, I would like to thank Gunny for her contribution to today's program, and welcome.
My mind is under a strain. My heart has done it again. The one I love can never be mine, so I'd better not see him again. If we met, I'd leave right away, 'cause only a fool would stay and love someone who'll never give in. So I'd better not see him again. Mind, you're under a strain. Heart, you've done it again. The one I love will never be mine, so I'd better not see him again. No, I'd better not see him again. Don't knock, darling, come on in. It's the same as it's always been. Nothing new or nothing old, it's just the same. The doorbell, it rings the same. My heart aches, it beats with pain. Come on in, it's just the same. Nothing has changed. When you left me on that day, I knew you would return and bring back the love that we once knew. So come in, honey, feel at home. I can't stand to live here alone. Come on in, it's just the same. Nothing has changed. Don't you leave me, promise me that you're here for eternity. Make my life complete, honestly, oh promise me. I can't go on alone, for you are my stepping stone. Come on in, it's just the same. nothing has changed. When you left me on that day, I knew you would return and bring back the love that we once knew. So come in, honey, feel at home. I can't stand to live here alone. Come on in, it's just the same, nothing has changed. So come on in, it's just the same, nothing has changed. Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. I followed you down so many roads, baby. I picked wildflowers, sung you soft, sad songs. And every road you took, I know, the search was for the truth. And the clouds grew and now won't be the last. Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. Storms never last, do they, baby? Bad times all pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and your love makes the sun want to shine. And your love makes the sun want to shine.
Heaven's just a sin away, oh, oh, just a sin away.
This is Jeannie Kendall of the Kendall, and you're listening to Johnny Woodlock. On the way back, oh, my good friend Johnny, play some great country music.
Heaven help me when I say I think I'm giving in.
Now, friends, it's once again that time in the program to welcome a very special guest of honor onto our Way Back with Johnny show as we salute my dear friend Joyce Seamone of Nova Scotia with y'all. Next, this will be the second half of this three-part interview. Now, let's turn back the years following this second half to the 1973 era and the follow-up song to Testing 1, 2, 3, which was called Stand By for Special Announcement. With that, here now is my dear friend and a true keeper of the flame of Canadian country music, but also a true trailblazer in her own right, Miss Joyce Seamone, from her home in Maplewood, Nova Scotia. And then you followed it up with Stand By for Special Announcement.
Exactly. And I will tell you, I think the record company sometimes, well, I don't think, I know they don't ask the artists themselves what their opinions are. And they thought, oh, this is really great. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's follow this up with Stand By for a Special Announcement.
Mm-hmm.
It did not pan out like they had expected it would. And so I had another song on my LP at the time that I had recorded that I thought should have been the second release to follow Testing 1, 2, 3. But things don't always go the way you want them to go. So I was signed to the label, and they owned the masters, and they more or less called the shots on the second release.
And what song was that you would have liked them to have followed it with?
Mirror, Mirror.
Mirror, Mirror, yes, one of our favorites, exactly, yes.
I think that would have went right to number 1. In all honesty, I still think that's a great song.
And it's one of your best, in my opinion. You have the perfect voice for it and everything, yes, exactly. Now, I was going to say about Stand By for Special Announcement. That was more or less targeting the singer with that, like as they say, blacklist or whatever, or they target, I forget the word, but certain people play a certain character, but you were following it with the same style of song right after Testing 1, 2, 3.
I never actually cared for that. It was one of the least songs on the album. I didn't like that song as well as I liked
Mirror,
quite
Mirror.
a few other songs. It certainly wouldn't have been my choice. But anyway, it was, and it did get quite a bit of airplay. But I think the record company thought the DJs would jump right on it because of the title.
Okay, yes.
Announcement.
Yes. Exactly, I can see that, yes, that's for sure, yes. Now, in 1972, you also released a Christmas album. This would be your second album, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
The first album was Testing 1, 2, 3, and then, for some odd reason, I really don't know who, I would assume it was the record company itself, suggested to me to put out a Christmas LP, and I thought that was a great idea, and I loved all the songs. I was able to choose the songs myself that I wanted on it.
Nice.
And we went in the middle of summer and did that Christmas album, and I can remember that day very well. It seemed odd to be singing Christmas songs in the middle of the summer, but we had to do that in order to get it released by Christmas.
Exactly. As Gene Autry and all of them, I hear a lot of stories that a lot of the old Christmas songs were recorded in the summertime, so yes.
And that makes sense.
Exactly. Well, Christmas is such a short-lived time period, too, so yes. And to get it out on the market, you have to do what you got to do, exactly, yeah.
And it's very strange you should bring this up, because just this week I was looking at something that Larry Delaney, getting back to him again, had published, and it was a list of Christmas LPs from the various 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think it was then. And I was among only a handful of people that did a Christmas album.
Oh, wow. Okay, yes.
Of the country singers that were out at the same time that I was. And he had made the comment that he wondered why some of the other artists didn't have a Christmas album out, but I guess it would have been up to them and their record company.
Of course, yes. The managers have a lot to do with it too, I guess, yes, for sure. So looking at the career you had during the 70s, what would you say was the biggest or the most highlight of that era?
The traveling traveling and going all over the places that I went to that I'd never been before. I think that was the biggest thing for me back then.
Okay, yes.
And of course getting airplay, and it was just a combination of a lot of things that maybe not one particular highlight, but of course the traveling, the people, the fans I met. They would bring me gifts, and some of those gifts I've kept to this day.
Amazing, yes. For sure.
I was actually looking through some things more recently, and I came across this little box, and I opened it up, and it was some kind of ore from Sudbury.
Oh, nice.
And I had played the Sudbury area, and someone gave me this as a gift, and it's this little, I'll call it, it's not a rock, but it's in the shape of a small rock, you might say, and it's just full of glitter. So I kept that all these years, along with several other mementos.
Very nice, yes, for sure.
So those are the things that I think about, and
it's the small things that make the difference too, I find. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, for sure. So I understand that you also performed at a place where our good friend Bob Gardner was associated with, Rock Hill Park.
I did. Now, going back, Rock Hill Park, boy, that was a big event, and I don't even remember how I managed to get a gig there, but it was on a Sunday afternoon, I think, and my biggest memories are Eddie Eastman was very big at the time, getting lots of play, and I've got pictures of Eddie playing there that day along with myself and several of the other stars that were on the show then, and those are great pictures to have.
Yes, and the priceless memories, exactly. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, moving on into your career, you also did some tours overseas, I understand, in Holland and Germany.
I did. This I can credit to my husband.
Okay.
Because he found out that I was getting airplay overseas in Holland. I'll say Holland, of course, the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And so he thought, I wonder what that's all about. So he started researching, and the long and the short of it is, he got me invited to be a guest at one of the festivals in Zevenbergen, and at the beginning, I only was taking one of my players with me, as I felt that it would be great to have at least some kind of continuity. He would know my songs, and he'd be able to help the band that would be backing me. And then one thing led to another, and I ended up, my entire band went over, and we played in the Netherlands at this international festival in 1996.
Okay,
we went back 97, and 98 I chose not to go because I had a bigger event. My daughter, one of them, was getting married.
Oh, nice.
So I put that to the top of my priority list, and then we went back in 1999, and during those years I played the Netherlands and Germany and Sweden.
Amazing, yes, for sure. And what was your reception like? Or what
oh my gosh, it was fabulous.
Was it? Yes.
Absolutely fabulous. When we got to the Netherlands, I couldn't believe how well we were received. And being Canadian, look, they just opened their arms and their hearts to us, and it was just like something that you could only dream about.
Okay.
And anyway, that was quite wonderful.
For sure.
Stand by for a special announcement. Though it breaks my heart to say, stand by for a special announcement. I'm leaving you today. till today. Now it's your turn to listen to what I have to say. Me dear, memories of heartaches and a few tears. No longer will my life be part of yours. Just so you understand me, let me say it once more. Stand by for a special to say. Stand by for a special announcement. I'm leaving you today.
I'm standing Nova Scotia proud for Canada. This is Anne Murray. Early in my career, I received a lot of pressure to move to the U.S., but I just couldn't do it. Canada was my safe haven, my light at the end of the tunnel, and it still is. Buy Canadian. Shop as if your country depends upon it. Keep your money in Canada for Canada.
Now, friends, we have once again reached the end of the second hour of the Way Back with Johnny show here on CFRC 119 FM and also www.oshawarocks.com. As we send us into the third and final hour of today's program, I would like to play a collection of songs dedicated to a dear friend of mine who I just learned had passed away not long ago, actually back in May, on May 12th. That was a good friend of mine who was like a second grandmother away from home for me for many, many years. Wilma Miller, who was also known for her maple sugar and maple syrup products down here at the farmers market in Kingston for many years. With that, we would like to dedicate a collection of songs to her today in loving memory. First of all, it's going to be an all-time classic by the Happy Goodman family, and their all-time classic called It Looks Like Everybody's Headed Home. And then we're going to follow that with Ross Clow and That's What Heaven Means to Me. And if there's enough time to send us into the third and final hour this morning, we're going to hear an all-time classic by the Wagon Master of Country Music once again, Porter Wagner, and his all-time classic called Mama's Bible. Now, I would also like to mention that during my lifetime, there's been few people as influential in my Christian background as Wilma and Donald Miller. With that, we'll dedicate these in loving memory of Wilma Miller. Welcome in, friends, and we'll be back on the other side of the third and final hour.
I remember a country church on Sunday morning, how they prayed and we sing the good old songs. Calloused hands raised in the air, the old saints shout, and everybody singing, this world is not my home. And I remember hearing fire and brimstone preach from the heaven, and watching sinners run down the aisle, as everybody gathered round and prayed that soul to victory, and tears flowed when a sinner was saved country style. And everybody talked about heaven and how we'll all meet around God's throne. Now it seems as if most of them are missing, and it looks like everybody's going home. I look around and I feel like a stranger, for the old familiar faces seem so few. One by one they all have walked the road to heaven, and somehow I feel like I'm so much closer to. I think of all the good times left behind me, and the saints of God now gathered round the throne. But I know I'll see those old familiar faces once again. We were all just passing through. This world was not our home. And everybody talked about heaven and how we'll all meet around God's throne. Now it seems as if most of them are missing, and it looks like everybody's going home. And everybody talk about heaven and how we'll all meet around God's throne. Now it seems as if most of them are missing, and it looks like everybody's going home. It looks like everybody's going home.
A country where no twilight shadows deepen, on ending day where night will never be. A city where the storm clouds never gather. Oh, this is just what heaven means to me. What joy it will be when we get over yonder and join the throng around the glassy sea. We'll meet our loved ones and crown Christ forever. Oh, this is just what heaven means to me. And when at last we see the face of Jesus, before whose image other loves all flee, and when they crown him Lord of all, I'll be there. For this is just what heaven means to me. What joy it will be when we get over yonder and join the throng around the glassy sea. We'll meet our loved ones and crown Christ forever. Oh, this is just what heaven means to me. Oh, this is just what heaven means to me.
Mama's Bible, pages trimmed with gold. Mama's Bible, guiding our soul.
Mama died years ago, left us kids alone. But before she went, she told me, son, you've got to carry on. Now you're the oldest boy, Bill, so treat your brothers right. Then she handed me her Bible, said follow by its light.
Mama's Bible, pages trimmed with gold. Mama's Bible, guiding our soul.
The boys have all grown up now, the baby just left home. and I can rest with ease now, for I know they're not alone. They've got the many blessings that I read every day from the pages of Mama's Bible to guide them on their way.
Mama's Bible, pages trimmed with gold. Mama's Bible, guiding our soul.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, this is Nova Scotia singer Joyce Seamone, singer of Testing 1, 2, 3, and you're listening to my good friend Johnny Woodlock here on the way back. Keep it tuned here, friends.
Are you always testing me?
And yes, friends, following those classic gospel favorites, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny show. We're still coming to you via the Woodlock Ranch and Studios in Cornwall, Ontario, where this is recorded weekly. We can also be heard via www.oshawarocks.com in the Greater Toronto Area and worldwide. And we can also be heard over CFRC 1019 FM from the limestone city of Kingston, Ontario. Now, as I welcome y'all into the third and final hour of today's program, I'd also like to remind you all that it was 49 years ago this week on July 16th of 1977 when Don Messer's First Lady of the Islanders, Marg Osborne, left us. With that mentioned, Marg was born December 29th, 1927, left us as mentioned July 16th, 1977 at the age of 49. Beloved and remembered as a true member of the Islanders, I would like to remember her this morning with first a song called Going Back, and then we'll follow that with Going Home to the Country. With that, I would like to welcome y'all in here to the third and final hour. Good morning, friends, and happy listening.
There's something in the seasons barring memories in my mind, thinking mental pictures of that old hometown of mine. I can see the faces of the ones I left behind, remembering the traces of a love that once was mine. Going back to my hometown, 'cause it's mine, oh mine, and no one can take it from me. And I know, yes I know, that I'm going to go back someday to that little country town where I grew up as a child, living in the country, growing wild, going home. Mama's letter says I'd hardly know a soul there anymore. She said old Billy Taylor had to sell the general store. The town gave him a party 'cause he just turned 84. She wonders why I never come to visit anymore. I'm going back to my hometown, 'cause it's mine, oh mine, and no one can take it from me. And I know, yes I know, that I'm going to go back someday to that little country town where I grew up as a child, living in the country, growing wild, going home. 'Cause it's mine, oh mine, and no one can take it from me. And I know, yes I know, that I'm going to go back someday to that little country town where I grew up as a child, living in the country, growing wild, going home. Gonna hit the road, gonna shake this load, going back where life is free. Gonna thumb a ride to the other side, to my island home by the sea. 'Twas a hot summer day, I was wending my way along a dreary country load, going back where life is free. Gonna thumb a ride to the other side, to my island home by the sea. Gonna hit the road, gonna shake this load, going back where life is free. Gonna thumb a ride to the other side, to my island home by the sea. Gee, 'twas great to see my isle by the sea, and glimpse its red-tinted shore. I'm at home at last, what's past is past, I'm not leaving here anymore. Gonna hit the road, gonna shake this load, going back where life is free. Gonna thumb a ride to the other side, to my island home by the sea. Gonna hit the road, gonna shake this load, going back where life is free. Gonna thumb a ride to the other side, to my island home by the sea. To my island home by the sea.
And why, yes, friends, following those classics by Miss Marg Osborne, we're once again back here on the Way Back with Johnny show, and it's that time in the program to pay tribute to one of my favorite places in all Canada, and that is the legendary Maritimes, as they pay tribute to the Great Atlantic Lullaby. With that mentioned, let's begin with a tour of the Maritime provinces with a song going out to John and Kathy in Guelph, Ontario, and it's going to be an all-time classic by the king of Canadian country music, Stompin' Tom Connors, in New Brunswick and Mary. Then we'll follow with a song going out to Peter and Myrna Trenholm in Pugwash, Nova Scotia, and it's going to be an all-time classic that Peter recorded many years ago called My Rose of Nova Scotia. And then we'll follow with another all-time favorite, this time going out to Bob Gardner of Chippewa in Niagara Falls, Ontario. And him and I knew many years ago a man who used to hitchhike with Stompin' Tom Connors back in the day, and that was Stevedore Steve. From Stevedore, it's going to be his all-time signature song called Lester Lobster. And then we wrap up with none other than our king of the Newfies, of course, that's Michael T. Wall, and a song going out to him and Miss Nancy today, up there in Pickering, Ontario, and their all-time classic called Folks in Newfoundland. With that, I would like to dedicate these all to our friends east of the Quebec border. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening.
I get heart sick and blue for New Brunswick and you, since I left for the west and the prairie. And the stars up above know the two things I love are my home in New Brunswick and Mary. I'll bet the salmon are all running now along the old Miramichi, and in Woodstock the potatoes will be doing fine. While away out west in the wheat fields, with Mary still in my heart, I've got far away New Brunswick in my mind. And I get heart sick and blue for New Brunswick and you, since I left for the west and the prairie. And the stars up above know the two things I love are my home in New Brunswick and Mary. I can see the cattle just coming home in Sussex where Mary lives, and I catch the glimpse of a moose in the lonesome pine. While away out west in the wheat fields, with Mary's love in my heart, I've got far away New Brunswick in my mind. And I get heart sick and blue for New Brunswick and you, since I left for the west and the prairie. And the stars up above know the two things I love are my home in New Brunswick and Mary. I get heart sick sick and blue for New Brunswick and you. Since I left for the west and the prairie and the stars up above, know the two things I love are my home in New Brunswick and Mary.
My rose of Nova Scotia, dark brown hair and eyes of green. My rose of Nova Scotia, you are always in my dreams. Though I may be in Manitoba, where them cold north winds blow, my heart's in Nova Scotia with my Nova Scotia rose. My rose of Nova Scotia, dark brown hair and eyes of green. My rose of Nova Scotia, you are always in my dreams. Someday I'll be returning with a little band of gold. Until then, I'll be yearning for my Nova Scotia rose. My rose of Nova Scotia, dark brown hair and eyes of green. My rose of Nova Scotia, you are always in my dreams. My rose of Nova Scotia, dark brown hair and eyes of green. My rose of Nova Scotia, you are always in my dreams. My heart belongs to you.
I'm Lester the lobster from PEI, an ugly little bug with beady little eyes, but I can tackle anything up to twice my size. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI. Now some people hold to the silly little notion that every single lobster in the big wide ocean is as green as can be until they're boiled. But I'm as red as Prince Edward Island soil. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI, an ugly little bug with beady little eyes. I can tackle anything up to twice my size. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI. And I'm missing crustacean, that's what I am, it's plain. The first little lobster to bring the island fame. I was hatched on the shores in the PEI mud, and the color of the island soil has gotten in my blood. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI, an ugly little bug with beady little eyes, but I can tackle anything up to twice my size. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI. Well, I'm grown up now and looking for a mate, a quaint and dainty lobster miss who would cohabitate with the great red lobster from the shores of PEI. But my little lobster miss would have to be as red as I. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI, an ugly little bug with beady little eyes, but I can tackle anything up to twice my size. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI. Well, I'd like to send a message to the people of the world. If anyone should come across a little lobster girl who's as red as Prince Edward Island sitting in the sea, just crate her up and ship her here and send her COD. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI, an ugly little bug with beady little eyes, but I can tackle anything up to twice my size. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI. I'm Lester the lobster from PEI.
I've traveled this world over, and I've been from sea to sea. I met a lot of people that were friendly as can be. Now the people of this country I know are simply grand, but the friendliest folks I ever met were the ones from Newfoundland. They live a very simple life, and they're very strong and proud. And at the local tavern, they're one big happy crowd. So come and have yourself a beer, or bring your own home brew, and we'll sing some good old Newfie songs before the night is through. Now there's no sailing schooners and the Newfie bullet's gone. All that's left is memories as time keeps marching on. And the young folks, they're the people who travel far and wide. And when they speak of Newfoundland, they speak of it with pride. Think I'm joking, friends, but what I say is true. We'll invite you home for a mug of tea or a feed of fish and brew. So come all you good people, I'd like to shake your hand. Good luck and best wishes from the folks of Newfoundland. Yes, good luck and best wishes from the folks of Newfoundland.
The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing on every tree.
Friends, it's recording artist Peter Trenham from Nova Scotia. You've got my good friend Johnny Woodlock on the way back, where you'll find the very best in country music.
So farewell, farewell to Nova Scotia's charms. It's early in the morning and I'm far, far away.
Well, yes, friends, once again, it's that time in the program to pay tribute to high lonesome sounds of bluegrass music here this morning. As we play some pioneers of bluegrass music, we would like to first of all begin with the boys from New Brunswick, the Bluegrass Diamonds, and their all-time classic, which is one of my all-time favorite bluegrass songs as well, called Just Like You. Then we'll follow with the legendary Pat Moore and Maple Hill from right here in Ontario, and they've got a beautiful song that Pat wrote about her childhood cabin when they were small, and it's called The Shores of Black Lake. And then coming up tomorrow, the 13th of July, marks the 64th anniversary birthday of none other than our queen of bluegrass music, Miss Rhonda Vincent. And from Miss Rhonda, we have her all-time classic signature song called Is the Grass Any Bluer on the other side. With that, I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you listening in who loves this old-time bluegrass music, and also send out a special hello to my dear friend Sparky, also known as Sandra Day, out there in Ingleside, Ontario. Welcome in, friends, and happy listening.
Hector Brown, he lived on a farm. He's been a farmer all his life, till he had to slow down when his heart broke down. He went under a surgeon's knife, and the 4 kids that he raised all live so far from home. But since his wife died last December, Hector's all alone. And if you don't think an old man could be alone and blue,
let me tell you, my friend,
he's just like you. She lived in the city, her landlord, he lived out of town. When the cold wind blows, it chills her backache to gets her down. So she reads by day, she sleeps by night, she never goes anywhere. Scarcely anybody even knows she's there. You don't think that woman could be alone and blue,
let me tell you, my friend,
she's just like you. Too long ago, you were only 21, and time moves only one way, and you won't always be young. And if you don't think when you get old you could be alone and blue, let me tell you, my friend, you got some thinking to do. If you don't think an old man could be alone and blue,
let me tell you, my friend,
he's just like you. And if you don't think an old man could be alone and blue,
let me tell you, my friend,
he's just like you.
The water lilies span across the bay by the land where my soul put its roots when I was quite young. And the tadpoles still grow, and the sky's indigo, and the lake glistens with the sun. The water laps the shore, and the ripple from my oar summons peace and contentment as time stands still. And the call of the loon, as she sings her lonely tune above the north wind, sends my spine a chill. By the shores of Black Lake, my soul you will find, near the bay where the roses landed their of Black Lake, I'll forever be in spirit where memory escapes time. Pine trees stand tall where there once were none at all. The pasture has given into time, but the shoreline remains as it did in the day, and the mica is still scattered from the mine. By the shores of Black Lake, my soul you will find, near the bay where the roses landed their boats. By the shores of Black Lake, I'll forever be in spirit where memory escapes time. I explore this place, my roots I retrace. I'm struck by an overwhelming sense that I never left the land cleared by my father's hand. Take me back to my days of innocence. By the shores of Black Lake, my soul you will find, near the bay where the roses landed their boats. By the shores of Black Lake, I'll forever be in spirit where memory escapes time. Oh, by the shores of Black Lake, my soul you will find, near the bay where the roses landed their boats. By the shores of Black Lake, I'll forever be in spirit where memory escapes time.
You rolled out of Rosine, a dedicated man. You drove those country back roads to 1,000 one-night stands. The music from your mandolin spread like wildfire in the wind and echoed through the hollows and the hills. So tell me, Bill, is the grass any bluer on the other side? Did it look like old Kentucky when the gates swung open wide? Bet the good Lord's got you playing somewhere up there every night. Is the grass any bluer on the other side? Just like me the day you died, the guitars and the fiddles cried. The music ain't the same without you, Bill. We miss you still. Is the grass any bluer on the other side? Did it look like old Kentucky when the gates swung open wide? Bet the good Lord's got you playing somewhere up there every night. Is the grass any bluer on the other side? Did it look like old Kentucky when the gates swung open wide? That the If the board's got you playing somewhere up there every night, is the grass any bluer on the other side? Is the grass any bluer on the other side?
Smoky Mountain Memories.
Hello, friends. This is Larry Sparks and the Lonesome Ramblers. You're listening to my good friend, Johnny Woodlock, here on the way back.
Smoky Mountain Memories.
Now, friends, it's once again that time in the program to pay tribute to the third and final part of this interview with our good friend, Joyce Seamone from Maplewood, Nova Scotia. With that mentioned, following this third and final part of this great interview with Joyce, we will hear an all-time classic that she requested I play called Mirror Mirror. So with that, let's share this all-time interview that was recently recorded between Joyce and me, and this is the third and final part of this interview. Now here, without any further ado, is my good friend and a true trailblazing lady of Canadian country music, Miss Joyce Seamone from Nova Scotia. Now, you also work closely, of course, with Nova Scotia, but also the Hall of Fame down there.
Yes, I am not a current board of directors member, but I have held positions on the board. I am inducted as an inductee, and that's been in place quite a number of years, and I go to every yearly event where they induct new inductees. So I'm quite active in keeping up with what's going on with the Hall of Fame.
Very nice, yes. And what makes the East Coast music so unique? I know each part of Canada, just like the States, has their own style.
I really don't know. Like somebody always can say, is it the salt in the water? Is it all those things. But I think East Coast is well known for their hospitality. I think it's natural, and I think that comes across to people we meet wherever we travel.
For sure, yes. And also, tell us about your half-hour program on TV called In Conversation.
Oh my gosh, that was a wonderful time in my career. Yeah. I wasn't traveling. I had moved from Ontario back to Nova Scotia where I was born, and I can't remember exactly how it came about, but anyway, I applied, I must have been talking to the people that be, and all of a sudden I did this show called In Focus, and I focused on all kinds of people and events in Lunenburg County where I was from. And that was a really great time. I was on there for probably two full years, and every week, and then they would rerun them. And so I learned a lot about just from interviewing people, but I did a lot of research prior to having them as guests.
Yes.
So that I could ask, hopefully intelligent questions.
And what is your advice for interviewers like me? It seems that you've done interviews yourself over the years.
I don't know if I actually have any advice, but I guess do your homework, find out about the person that you're interviewing so that you can ask questions that you think people would like to know about the artist. I guess that's the basic line. Do a little bit of research prior to the interview.
Exactly. That's the key thing. Like Ralph Emery, if you know who I mean, he always said to have the background of the person's bio or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and I miss his show so much.
For sure.
I used to watch him faithfully every night when they were on.
That's
him
right.
and Lorianne Crook.
Yes, exactly. This is it. For sure.
Now, maybe I picked up a few things along the way watching other people and listening to them.
Yes, exactly. We all have, for sure. Now, tell us about this upcoming show you're doing with Carol Baker at the Carol Baker Memorial Memory Center. Oh
my gosh, are we ever excited about that? It's coming up in July. Carol, of course, lives in Ontario.
Yes.
And she was born in Port Medway, so she's coming back to Nova Scotia for portion of the summer, and while she's here, she's got in contact with the girls that had been on the first opening of the center, and some of us are able to get together, and we're going to be there, and I hope that people that hear this interview eventually get to Port Medway to the Carol Baker Memory Center. It's in the church that she bought. It has gold records. It has platinum records. It has Junos. It has everything you could ever imagine about her career.
Yes?
The sound in the venue is wonderful. So, anyway, I was part of the grand opening.
Yes.
I was part of the next year after that. We did a show in New Brunswick to help raise money to keep her church going. As you know, old churches need a lot of repairs. So,
of course.
Anyway, it's an ongoing project.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a show in PEI, and now we're back together again. It's going to be all-girls event, and her daughter, I just found out yesterday, Candace is joining us, so it's going to be wonderful. So
It sure is. I wish I could be there with you. Exactly.
Oh, I wish you could too.
Yes, it'll be quite the time for sure. Yes. Yes. Well, I wish you the best with that as well. Yes, exactly. Now, looking at the career you've had, what do you think would it be easier today, or was it easier in your era?
Easier today.
Today, okay, yes. Yeah.
I would say that because of social media. There was no social media in the 70s. We had to travel. We had to get in a car. We had to pull a trailer with all our equipment. We had to go and talk to people at radio stations in person or phone them up. Now, people can just go on all the social media and find out all about the artist, and I just think it's easier for them. They have a better way of getting to people, but they'll never enjoy the, I don't know if you call it the hard work that we put in. Not that they're not working hard, but it's a different time and a different place.
For sure, and it's a different era, as I was saying, but it's also a different, it's a whole different, atmosphere and what have you, for sure, yes. But like I was also going to say is there's a lot of music that's now being heard, like your music that was back in the 70s, but it's now on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. It's a lot easier to get a hold of your music today too.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Or people mostly either had to keep listening to the local radio stations, hoping they would hear the song, or go to their local record stores and purchase it so they could go home and play it.
Exactly, yes.
Now you can just sit at your computer and punch a button and there I am.
Yes, exactly, Joyce. This is it, for sure. Now, if I may ask a personal question.
Sure.
I often ask this of people I interview, but how would you like to see your career or yourself be remembered when the time comes?
Oh my, that is a question.
Yes, it is.
I would just like to maybe have people sit back and say, wow, we went to see Joyce Seamone, and did she ever perform that? While she was performing, she touched my heart. She made me feel good. She made me feel welcome. I loved what she was doing, and that's about all that I could ask of people.
Okay, for sure, Joyce, yes. And we'll, of course, always remember your music as well, for sure. So,
that's great, and I so appreciate people like yourself and anyone that's playing my music and honoring me from years gone by. And like you said, I'm still performing, and I've never... Music is in your heart and soul.
That's right, and it's born into you, exactly, yes.
And I have a wonderful band that at any time that I needed them, I could just pick up the phone and they'd be there for me.
Well, that's great to hear, Joyce, for sure. It makes a difference. Exactly.
Yes, I have a 7-piece band.
Nice, yes. And do you ever get up here to Ontario much anymore, or no?
A couple of years ago, I was at Coburg, is it, to the Apple...
Okay, yes, the Apple Blossom Festival.
I was there, and I did some other gigs in London. I was at Purple Hill, I think.
Yes, of course, yes.
There, and I did a concert in Woodstock where I actually lived for 20 years.
Nice, nice.
What a wonderful feeling that was. We had people that I hadn't seen for years come out to my concert, and it was great.
For sure.
Yes, I have been to Ontario in the last few years and performed there.
Well, that's great, Joyce. It's great to see that you're still performing. Exactly. So in wrapping up this interview for today, what is your thoughts on what makes our Canadian heroes or legends, what is so important about remembering them musically?
I think it is important. A lot of people today, of course I've aged and I'm older, but a lot of the younger people that's into maybe what we'll call today's country don't really know the background of people like myself, like Carol Baker, like Anne Murray, like Wilf Carter and Hank Snow, people like that went through a lot to get their music out there, and how much of an impact we did have in our early careers, as much as some of the people that's coming along now, but you just don't hear about us. So we really appreciate our music being kept alive.
Exactly, and this is what we should be keeping alive, is the real sound of country. Exactly. So in wrapping up, what song can I play for you besides Testing 1, 2, 3?
Mirror, mirror.
Okay, sounds good, Joyce. And with that, we want to thank you for a wonderful conversation, and let's do it again sometime.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely, and I can't thank you enough, and hopefully we will get to meet in person one of these days.
That'd be a true honor, for sure, yes. And God bless you.
God bless you and all your listeners, and thank once again.
Up here in my lonely room, there's a mirror on the wall. I see myself, a lonely girl, my last smile I can't recall. I loved you, dear, so many years, but you don't know I'm around. Only the mirror sees my tears tumbling to the ground. Tell me true, must my whole life be this blue? Will I ever love again? Mirror, mirror, tell me when. Around me still, the world keeps rolling by. Someday I'll get over you, then I'll no longer cry. Once I was your only love, but now you've set me free. All these years I've cried for you, have been so bad for me. Tell me true, must my whole life be this blue? Will I ever love again? Mirror, mirror, tell me when.
I'm standing Nova Scotia proud. for Canada. This is Anne Murray. Early in my career, I received a lot of pressure to move to the U.S., but I just couldn't do it. Canada was my safe haven, my light at the end of the tunnel, and it still is. Buy Canadian. Shop as if your country depends upon it. Keep your money in Canada for Canada.
And now, friends, I do hope y'all enjoyed that third and final part of that interview, and now it's once again time to pay tribute to one of the most recent recordings that Joyce Seamone recorded back around 2019, I believe it was. It was written by her about her hometown in Nova Scotia, Maplewood. With that mentioned, we'll dedicate this to all our East Coast listeners, but especially Joyce Seamone, a dear friend of mine for many years now. With that, here's Maplewood, her tribute to her hometown.
Maplewood is where I long to be. It's the home of my childhood, can't you see? The maple trees grew stately to the sky. I can't forget you, I'll remember till I die. There are memories of swimming at the lake, and the home-baked beans my mother used to make. There were pie sales and variety shows galore. I'd like to go back to my childhood just once more. Maplewood is where I long to be. It's the home of my childhood, can't you see? The maple trees grew stately to the sky. I can't forget you, I'll remember till I die. There were family reunions we held dear. There was fish to catch and field day once a year. The snow so deep in winter I recall, and pretty colored leaves to play in the fall. Maplewood is where I long to be. It's the home of my childhood, can't you see? The maple trees grew stately to the sky. I can't forget you, I'll remember till I die. I can still recall the smell of fresh mown hay, and the cattle to be pastured every day. We picked berries for the table, not the store, and the next day we'd go back and pick some more. Maplewood is where I long to be. It's the home of my childhood, can't you see? The maple trees grew stately to the sky. I can't forget
forget you, I'll remember till I die. I can't forget you, I'll remember till I die.
Well, yes, friends, once again, it's that time in the program to pay tribute to the Way Back Song of the Week. And with that mentioned, we have had bad luck with passings lately in the country music world, especially with our late friend James Monroe and also J. Buck Ford. But as of the 2nd of July, the legendary Canadian country gentleman Tommy Hunter also passed away. So with that mentioned, we will be doing a tribute, 3-hour tribute to Tommy Hunter in the coming weeks, actually on July the 26th. But for right now, I'd like to honor the memory of our Canadian country gentleman with 2 of his classics. First of all, it's going to be his all-time first release from 1962 called Poor Little Bullfrog. And then we'll follow that with his signature song that was always on the long-running Tommy Hunter show called Traveling Man. With that, we'll be back following these. Send us all home. Good morning, friends, and happy listening. And yes, Tommy, we will forever remember your contribution to the Canadian country music.
Well, a bullfrog sitting on a lily pad. He's sitting all alone looking awful sad. He's waiting for the one that he loves so true. Like I sit and wait for you. Poor little bullfrog lost his mate, sits on his little lily pad and waits for sadness in his heart. He croaks for the one he needs and loves the most. Poor little bullfrog, poor little bullfrog. Now it matters not if it's rain or shine. Matters not if it's rain or shine. He sits on his little lily pad and cries. He sits on his little lily pad and cries. I know just what he's going through. I know just what he's going through. Like him I sit and cry for you. Poor little bullfrog lost his mate, sits on his little lily pad and waits for sadness in his heart. He croaks for the one he needs and loves the most. Poor little bullfrog, poor little bullfrog. Well, I wonder if a little Miss Frog knows. Wonder if a little Miss Frog knows. The one she loves is a missing her so. The one she loves is a missing her so. He's waiting for her with a love so true. Waiting for her with a love so true. Like him I wait to keep loving you. Poor little bullfrog lost his mate, sits on his little lily pad and waits for sadness in his heart. He croaks for the one he needs and loves the most. Poor little bullfrog, poor little bullfrog, poor little bullfrog.
I'm a traveling man following the breeze, traveling here, traveling there, gathering memories. So let me wander, let me wander all my life away, just traveling on my way, just traveling on my way. Some have said it, the traveling man walks a lonely mile, but I find friends along my way who offer me a smile. So let me wander, let me wander all my life away, just traveling on my way, just traveling on my way. I tell people that I meet I've traveled far and wide. I'm just one man for company, my dear Lord by my side. So let me wander, let me wander all my life away, just a traveling on my way, just traveling on my way, just a traveling on my way.
Now, friends, it's once again that time in the program to say so long from the Way Back with Johnny show. With that mention, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending your Sunday morning with me once again here at the Way Back show. And also a huge thank you to my special guest of today, Miss Joyce Seamone of Nova Scotia. I'd also like to thank my good buddy Bob Gardner of Niagara Falls in Chippewa, Ontario, for putting me and Joyce back together after several years of absence from the show. I would also like to say that she is truly a trailblazing lady of Canadian country music. With that mentioned, let's send us all the way home today with none other than next week's tribute artist, and that of course is Miss Kitty Wells, as we will be paying tribute to her next weekend in a 3-hour tribute to Miss Kitty. Then we'll follow with All-Time Classic by Miss Joyce Seamone to send us all the way home today, and it's going to be called Just a Minute, Lord. With that, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and may God bless each and every one of you till we meet again next Sunday. Same great time, same great channel, CFRC 1019 FM 8 to 11. So with that, have a great week, and yes, as they say, keep it country out there, friends, and keep it traditional. So long for now.
The Lord to come again. I believe the end is nearing every door. I believe the good old Bible from beginning to the end. Just compare today with Matthew 24. We are living, truly living in the days he speaks about. Let us meet him with a shout, for he tells us in his word to watch and pray. Let everyone be free from sin, and take heed no man shall ever you deceive. I believe the time is coming for the Lord to come again. I believe the end is nearing every door. I believe the good old Bible from beginning to the end. Just compare today with Matthew 24.
Just a minute, Lord, just a minute more before I reach those pearly gates. I'd like to have the time to say what's on my mind. Just a minute, Lord, before it's too late. I'd like to let him know how much I loved him so, and just how much he really meant to me. But those sweet talking words from me he never heard. I'd like to say them now before I leave. Just a minute, Lord, just a minute more before extra kind, I pay no never mind, but just expect it all quite naturally. Though he's provided for, I think what matters more is just to leave him with sweet memories. Just a minute, Lord, just a minute more before I reach those pearly gates. I'd like to have the time to say what's on my mind. Just a minute, Lord, before it's too late. Just a minute, Lord, just a minute more before I reach those pearly gates. I'd like to have the time to say what's on my mind. Just a minute, Lord, before it's too late. Just a minute, Lord, before it's too late.
The show is over, another day gone by, with good friends all around me. How the time do fly.
Howdy, friends and listeners. This here is your old host with most, Johnny Woodlock, reporting for Way Back with Johnny over this great channel. The previous show does not represent anything associated with the channel heard on. It is a sole associate of Woodlock Ranch Studios, Cornwall, Ontario. With that, have a great day, and we'll catch y'all next week. So long, friends.
It's hard to find the words I want to say, but friends, I'll try. God bless you all and keep you till we meet again. Good.